YouTube, what's the story? It's Example. And I'm back for my second video. I know. Thank God. And today, I'm going to talk about what has to be said. No messing about, let's get into it. 5 things I would like to change in FIFA 21. Now, the first thing I'm going to mention is it has to be gameplay speed. Big emphasis on that. Gameplay speed. Now, I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. Playing FIFA 20 at a high level was just a test of who could bore each other's opponent more. Don't get me wrong, I work for those that had the patience to do it. But I would hate to see a possession player's DMs after a game of champs, never mind the FIFA Global Series qualifiers. It'd be an absolute shit show, I'd imagine. In FIFA 21, they have to make that shit zippy. I want to feel like I'm in that film Shading Soccer. Except without the alternados, obviously. I actually think the gameplay speed in FIFA 19 was decent. It's just a real shame the actual game mechanics were made by Phase 360 no-scopers. Now, I could talk more about that, but maybe I will in the future. Not just yet. We're going to move on to the next one. And in this one, I want to speak about the shooting in FIFA 20 and why it's essential to be fixed for FIFA 21. If you've played over 1,000 games in FIFA 20, you know the drill. You're right, you'll run down that line, you look for the goal line and look to square it back to one of your mates. But if that's not the case, then you have to cut back and go straight back to your left back and walk it back in the box that way. And it has no versatility in it. And I think the zero versatility really brings down that skill gap. And I can't have that. I need to be able to bank shots from the edge of the box with a player that has good shooting. Makes sense, doesn't it? I need to be able to score clear-cut chances with the best players in the game. Something I felt was a bit shite in FIFA 20, to be honest. Now, lastly in this change, can we please talk about how shite the keepers are for covering their near post? What is going on? It's almost as if it's their Achilles heel. And if that happens with any goalkeeper in a real match, they get bleeding crucified during a game. Right, so that's it. EA, stop it. Come on there. It just annoys me more than that. Right, just do me a favour, do this, alright? Just reverse the likelihood of shots going in near post to the shots that go in back post. Sorted. And I don't give a shit about the logistics behind it, just get it done. Now, the third thing we need to discuss is defending. In FIFA 20, if you are bad at defending, something had to be wrong with you. You know what I mean? This year's installment made it so easy to be good at defending. You can literally just stand there and laugh while your opponent was trying to get some sort of opportunity made against you. They're literally trying their utmost best to break you down. You're just sitting there. Where's my controller? You're just sitting there like this. In saying that, defenders tried their best to fuck your shit up during that game. And that's not their fault. It's not the defender's fault or your fault. It's the mechanics that were input in the game. I can't count on 2 hands how many times Lorenzo Insigne has suplexed my Van Dijk. And what happens after he suplexes my Van Dijk? He gets put 1-on-1 against Alisson. Right? And where does Lorenzo Insigne put the ball? You guessed it. Near post. You see, when I pay hundreds of thousands of coins for a centre back, I want brick houses. I don't want nothing going in. I want my keeper to have a lovely day. I don't want these long-legged spiders that we got in FIFA 20. Now, EA, just do me a favour. When I tackle, give me the damn ball and stop thinking that Alejandro Gomez has bleeding suction cups on his boots. Now, fourth thing I want to talk about is custom tactics. Custom tactics, that's all. Custom tactics. I know I'm not alone when I say these have been an absolute shit show. Shit show. Since they got introduced in FIFA 19. Answer me this, EA. Why haven't you taken drop back out of the game yet? Why? Why is it still there? Now, EA, don't even get me started on overload ball side this year. In real life, I haven't seen a team want something that tight since 2015 when Leicester went to Thailand. This custom tactic alone ruined 6 months of FIFA 20. Imagine 6 months. The game is only alive for 9. So 66% of the time was ruined because of this stupid tiny little button I have to press is right on the D-pad twice, I think. You see, that's all I want. All I want is for these to take the things out that are broken rather than try and fix them. Because they're not great at that, are they, in fairness? At least they're trying to fix pro clubs. Oh wait. Now that brings me to my final point. FIFA 21 Pro Clubs. So if you're unaware, EA Zero and EA Courtney brought out, fair play to them, big ass pitch notes for most modes and also a Q&A on Twitter. Unless you're Pro Clubs. Pro Clubs didn't get a Q&A. Why? That's a great question. You'd think they would have answered that in one of their 8 Q&As. And the funny thing is about it, Pro Clubs probably has the most dedicated fan base out of the lot of them. These blokes live and breathe for the badges they represent. And even though most of their attitudes stink more than a bag of onions, they want what we want. And that's more of an emphasis put on the most fun game mode on FIFA. Pro Clubs. Just because EA can't microtransact Pro Clubs Doesn't mean they should leave it in the dark. Put me in. Don't worry, they will. They are. It's a real shame, to be honest. It's a real shame. And I'm sure the whole lot of us will be on that mode and are happy if they just give it the updates and focus it deserves. The GOAT mode, in my opinion. I have millions of other things we could talk about. You know? FIFA, I love it. I love football. It's a real shame. I wish I didn't, because this game really fucking drives me insane. If you enjoyed this video, let me know, and maybe I can have a look at the comments and issues you found in FIFA 20 and go through them in another video. You know? This is how it works. And maybe EA Zero or EA Courtney will talk to us. That's all from me, lads. It's been an example. Kiss, kiss.